Jacob wrestles with God. Jacob wrestles with God. Jacob wrestles with God. We're going to be focusing on the book of Genesis about Jacob, chapters 31, 32, 33. Jacob has been living in Padanaram with his uncle Laban for 20 years. During those 20 years, he has accumulated a lot of wealth in terms of cattle, in terms of livestock, and he has wives and sons and men servants and maid servants. He came to Padanaram with only a stick in his hand, a staff in his hand, but is now a wealthy man, very rich, to the extent that his cousins, Laban's sons, have started to feel bad about him, have started to badmouth him, saying that Jacob has taken away our father's wealth, he has taken away our father's cattle, and he has taken away all the glory. And Jacob now realizes that Uncle Laban does not like him the way he had liked him before. So he makes up his mind to travel back to Canaan, the land of his father Isaac. And he talks to his family. He calls the wives and the mistresses for a meeting, and the children for a meeting, and the servants for a meeting. And during this meeting, he tells them that he has lived long enough in Padanaram, that Uncle Laban has been unfair to him, has changed his wage 10 times. He has worked under hostile conditions, under hostile circumstances, taking care of the livestock for his uncle Laban. Sometimes he will not sleep deprivation. He has suffered the vagaries of weather, frost and cold and the winter. And he has also suffered loss when his uncle's Laban's animals would get devoured by an animal, for instance, he would recompensate from his own flock. So he tells the family that now he's going to travel back to Canaan and is going with them. And they agree. So they flee from Uncle Laban, and 3 days later, Uncle Laban realizes that Jacob and his group, his family, has left. And Uncle Laban, of course, is not amused and he starts to pursue them in hot pursuit and is angry with them. But at night, God visits Laban and rebukes him and tells him not to harm Jacob in any way. So when he finds Jacob at Mount Gilead, because that's where Jacob now has camped, at Mount Gilead, Jacob and Laban have this quarrel. Jacob is asking, why are you pursuing me? What have I done? Have I done you wrong? And Laban is saying, you've stolen my goats. But Jacob does not even know that the goats have been stolen. It's his wife Rachel, the second wife, who stole the goats for the father. So Laban looks around searching for the goats and he does not find them. But then Laban again makes noise and says, why did you leave without saying goodbye? I would have prepared for you and for your family a very good send-off. I would have given you a farewell party. Why have you taken away my daughters and my sons as if they are captives? But along the way, they reach an agreement and they make us a peace pact, a covenant. And Laban says, promise me that you'll never harm my daughters. Promise me that you'll not marry other wives. And Jacob says, promise me that you'll not keep looking for me, you'll not pursue me, you'll not consider me an enemy. So they make a pact, they make a covenant. And Laban kisses his family, his daughters, his sons, and goes back to Padanaram. Now Jacob has finished first battle. Battle number 1, he has finished, he has conquered, he has victory. Now battle number 2. Battle number 2 is he's going to face his brother Esau, his twin brother Esau. Remember 20 years ago, he stole the blessing from Esau. He stole the birthright from Esau. He stole the blessing from Esau. And that matter of him stealing the blessing from Esau made Esau a very, very angry man. And he said, the day my dad will pass on, that is Isaac, I will kill my brother Jacob because he stole the blessing. Esau was very distraught and very distressed. But it's been 20 years now, and Esau is a wealthy man, but Jacob does not know it. And Esau is a happy man but Jacob does not know it. So he's frightened and is thinking that he's going to have trouble with his brother. In fact, he's expecting that his brother is coming to kill him and the children and the wives and his servants. So he divides the family into two bands. He says, perchance if he's going to start attacking the first band, at least the second band may escape and survive. And he's afraid. But while he's alone, the angels visit him. Angels, they visit him. And then while he's alone, Jesus comes to him and they start to have this wrestling match. And during this wrestling match, Jesus asks him, what's your name? And he says, my name is Jacob. And Jesus says, from now on, I shall call you Israel, because you have prevailed over, you have fought with God and prevailed over God and man. You have fought. You have fought, you have wrestled with God, and you have prevailed over man. You have prevailed. But Israel, now Jacob now is now Israel. Israel ends up with a fractured hip. He ends up with a pain in his hip, and as the sun rises in the morning, and as he walks through Penuel, because he has called the place Penuel, he's limping on his hip. He's limping, but God is on his side. He has won battle number 1 with Laban, and now he's about to win battle number 2 with Esau, because the messengers had already told him that Esau is coming to him accompanied by 400 men. And that frightened him deeply, because he thought, 400 men, surely, what does this mean for me and my family? But no, he sees Esau approaching, and Esau is very happy to see him. He goes on his knees to kneel before Esau to say he's sorry. He bows 7 times before Esau. But Esau is very happy to see him. He comes to him, rushes to him to hug him and kiss him, and he falls on his shoulder and weeps. The Bible says he weeps with joy that his long lost brother of 20 years is back and is in good health. So after the greetings, Esau asks, what is this? Because Jacob had already prepared a gift for Esau, a lot of livestock that he was going to give to his brother Esau. So Jacob says, it's a gift that I'm giving to you to show you that I'm sorry. It's a way of me saying I'm very sorry, and that I'd like for us to be in good terms. But Esau says, no, I'm a very rich man myself. I'm a very wealthy man myself. I have enough. I don't need more. Please, I don't need your gifts. But Jacob insists and says, please accept, as a way of saying that you've accepted my apology and that there is no more enmity between us. So Esau accepts the gifts, and Esau is happy to see his brother Jacob, and is happy to see the wives, the mistresses, and the children, and the men servants and the maid servants, and is happy to see the livestock. That he's happy to know that his brother Jacob has done well for himself, and is also happy that he has also done very well for himself. So the two brothers are in good terms. And along the way in Genesis, we are told there's even a time they lived together in the land of Canaan, but because their livestock became so great, until the land could not handle the livestock, then they had to part ways, and Esau goes to become Edom, the father of the Edomites. He goes to settle in Mount Seir and becomes the father of the Edomites. So battle number 2 is Esau. So here we see 2 battles that Jacob has fought and won, and the Bible says that wisdom is better than weapons of war. Weapons of war, wisdom is better than weapons of war. We see Jacob fighting a war not with weapons but with wisdom. First with Laban, wisdom, he uses words and they settle the matter amicably. Then again with Esau, he uses words and offers gifts, and the matter is settled amicably. He doesn't need weapons. He needs wisdom, because the Bible says that wisdom is better than weapons of war, and Jacob uses wisdom to fight this war, and he wins peaceably. The Bible tells us that we should attempt to be at peace with every man, that we should make every attempt to be at peace with every man. Fighting with Jesus gives him victory, because it gives him a chance to pray and to ask God to pray and to ask God for favor with his brother Esau, and God grants that request. So we are encouraged. We are encouraged because we also face many battles in our lives, many conflicts in our lives. How do we fight our battles? Number one, through prayer. And through prayer, even the way Jacob prayed and asked God to help him with the Laban and to help him also with Esau. Number two, fasting is also a good way of fighting a war. Fasting, taking time without taking food, without taking drinks, to seek the Lord, to humble ourselves before the Lord. Number three, wisdom. Wisdom is better than weapons of war. Instead of trying to fight a real war, we use words. We use words of wisdom to create peace. Number four, gifts. Jacob prepared gifts for his brother Esau. Gifts in terms of livestock, in terms of she-asses and he-asses and camels and cattle and lambs and sheep to offer to his brother Esau. And even though Esau said, I don't need all these things, keep them to yourself, he still insisted and he gave the brother gifts. So another way of fighting our battles is by giving gifts. Making peace by giving gifts. Making peace by using words of wisdom and by giving gifts. So I believe that you're encouraged. As you, at your own time, go ahead and read Genesis. The book of Genesis is a beautiful book with very many beautiful stories. Go ahead and read about Jacob, our father. Remember, Jacob is our father, Abraham is our father, Isaac is our father. These are our fathers. And as we read about them and as we copy them in our lives will start to manifest a different quality. Our lives will start manifesting a different quality in terms of favor. We shall find favor with man. In terms of victory, we shall find that we have victory over circumstances, and we shall fight our battles differently. We shall not use weapons to fight our battles. We shall use wisdom and gifts and prayer and fasting to fight our battles. Thank you very much. God bless you and bye-bye.